Hey everybody, this is Chris. Just a heads up before this episode starts. This is actually the last live episode that we've done out at Anclote Brew before everything kind of went to hell in a handbasket. So just a heads up, going forward, you'll hear a lot of our home shows and things like that as we try and get through these tough times together. We do have a lot of recordings that have been done. That's one of the nice things about quarantine is all of our nights got freed up, so we can record more. With all that being said, I also wanted to let you know two more things. One, we had some problems with Leah's microphone in this episode, so you're going to hear she sounds a little bit different. It may sound a little echoey and tinny. I'm sorry, we did the best in post that we could, but there are some issues there. Along with my microphone at the beginning, we did get that worked out around halftime. Stick with the show. It's the same quality. It's just going to sound not quite as nice as we'd like it to sound, but you know, it is what it is. Two, throughout this week, I think it's actually going to be Monday through Friday, we are going to release a bonus episode. It's a 5-part series that we recorded last week, and it is a Disney bracket challenge. So we took all the Disney and Pixar movies, the top-rated Disney and Pixar movies. They're in a bracket, and we are going to name the best Disney Pixar film ever released. So we've got 5 shows detailing that, and that'll be coming out probably next week. It may be over the course of the next 2 weeks, but it's like a 6-hour long discussion that we break it down to till we get down to the last one. It's actually a really fun episode, or 5 episodes. Enjoy that when it comes out. As always, you know, we'll have a new trivia episode coming out every Sunday. You can also go ahead and catch us over on the Recast That podcast, where we talk movies and recast some of our favorite movies. So we've got out right now Die Hard and Back to the Future. And this coming Wednesday, we'll be dropping Mrs. Doubtfire. With all that being said, let's jump live over to Anclote Brew for this week's show. Enjoy. Hello, Anclote Brew. How's it going tonight? Man, y'all braved death and everything to come out here and play trivia with us. We really do appreciate it. It is that damn important. You're right. Everyone, my name is Chris. I am one of the hosts of the Pub Trivia Experience. And if you don't know, for those of you that are new, we not just host live trivia right here exclusively at Anclote Brew. We are a podcast. You can find us anywhere you get podcasts. So while you guys are playing live trivia here tonight, Mr. Joel and my lovely wife, Leah, are going to be recording a live episode. You'll be playing against them, but the difference is you can win prizes. They cannot. So here's how tonight's game is going to go. How many of you have played with us before? Okay, this is a podcast. They can't hear you. Raise your hands. If you've played with us before, make a little bit of noise. Thank you. My Lord. Here's how tonight's game is going to go. We're going to start with our pregame. Pregame, 2 points per question, up to 10 points for the initial round. You'll have about 3 minutes to turn an answer to all 5 questions. Put all five of those answers on one sheet and turn it in. After that, our regular game is going to be 10 points per round, 4 rounds, 4 questions per round. A little bit different this week. The first question of every round is going to be Friday the 13th themed, which means it's going to be a little bit spooky. Second question of every round is going to be spring break themed. Third question is a holiday happening next week. That is St. Patrick's Day. And our fourth question of this round, and make some noise if you know anything about this, it's going to be alcohol. Woo! We're going to get better at this whole make some noise thing. I swear to God, or Jeff is going to come back and host again. Don't make me do that.
We got to get some more alcohol in us.
We have a couple of really simple rules to follow here. Rule number 1, until you turn your answers in, no cell phones. Rule number 2, it is the host's decision on a question to give you points or not. That is me. So if you want to get mad at someone, it's my fault. Rule number 3, you're going to see Tara, you are going to see Amy, and everybody else here at Anclote Brew running around, getting your beer, getting your food. Take care of them at the end of the night. Now, Are we ready to get started? Bill's going to sit back here and heckle me all night long, isn't he? All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Here is your category. You'll have about 3 minutes to turn your answers in. And all I want you to tell me is, do these cities dye their river green for St. Patrick's Day? City number 1 is San Antonio, Texas. City number 2, Charlotte, North Carolina. City number 3 is Portland, Oregon. City number 4, right here, lovely Tampa Bay, Florida. And city number 5 is Washington, D.C.
All right. So, of all of these, I think the only one that I've been to during St. Patrick's Day is Tampa. And I know they just started dyeing the river green here in Tampa. So, I'm going to go for a yes for Tampa.
I kind of remember hearing that on the news when they started doing that.
Because they test them now beforehand, too, right? They do like a little pre-dye test to see if the formula works or something. Now, San Antonio, I went to San Antonio. They've got a great little riverfront area
so they
there.
have a river. Okay, that's good.
Yep.
That's the first
nice
thing
little thing.
out, right?
Yeah,
Do they
that's
have a
true.
river?
But I don't know if they dye it.
Okay. I know about that one. So what were the other ones? There's San Antonio, Portland.
San Antonio, the second one was Portland, San Antonio, Charlotte.
Charlotte. And Washington.
San Antonio, Charlotte, Portland, Tampa, Washington, D.C.
San Antonio, Portland,
Nope. San Antonio, Charlotte was 2. Portland, Tampa, Washington, D.C.
So Chicago was not one.
No.
So I was going to say Chicago,
I know
does.
that they do. Yeah,
Because I went on
that's
the
the
tour.
famous one. I think
Yeah.
that was the first one that started this whole tradition.
Okay.
So
Tampa is yes.
Tampa is a definite yes. San Antonio,
I don't know, maybe.
I
There's
could
a
see
river.
them doing it. Yeah, that sounds like a Texas thing to do. Shooting your guns in the air and and dyeing the river green.
Sure, yeah, why not? But Portland, I'm gonna say no because I do feel like it's environmentally like.
I can see that.
So they're green, but not St. Patrick's Day
Right,
green.
yeah,
Like I could
yeah.
see that if we need a no, that Portland would be a good one because
That's
there
true.
could be like toxins. Or
Yep.
whatever.
DC, I'm not sure about either. I could see DC doing it for the money. I mean, you know what I mean? They're willing to spend the money
Like,
on
we'd
that
see it
stuff.
on the news too, like they would do some kind of St. Patrick's Day thing. On the news.
That's true. They'd probably do something with the president or something like that,
Yeah.
I'm sure, if they did. Well, I don't know.
I don't know either. So do we think
My
yes
gut
or-
is saying no for DC.
Okay.
I think the Potomac's too big of a river to die.
Oh, true. And then Charlotte. Charlotte has a river?
Yeah, Charlotte has a river.
All right, your pregame. Do the following cities dye their rivers green for St. Patrick's Day? City number 1 is San Antonio, Texas. Pub trivia experience, what do you say?
We said yes on that one.
The Lone Star State. You're going yes.
Well, we figured that would be something that's kind of Texas to do. You know, I could see dyeing the river green and shooting guns in the air and all that kind of stuff and for the Alamo.
I love how you somehow go from dyeing rivers to green to shooting guns in the air. Like, that leap in logic is astounding. But they're right. San Antonio, Texas does dye their river green every St. Patrick's Day. Make some noise if you got the points.
Woohoo!
City number 2. What about Charlotte, North Carolina?
Charlotte, I have never been to, and I'm not sure about the size of the river and stuff, but we were kind of thinking maybe a no on that one.
Charlotte, North Carolina does dye its river green. They do. It's a new thing. It's new, but they do it. Huh? I don't know what river it is. I can Google it.
It's the green one.
Is it? I will say this. I fact-checked these on 3 different sites. So I've got 3 references in each of these saying they do. So are you from Charlotte? You're saying they don't? Go. I'll give it to you. Google it. You're good. Google it. Google it. I'm okay being challenged. Number 3. What about Portland, Oregon?
Ooh. See, in my opinion, Portland is very hipster and environmental and hempy, if you will. Is that a word? Hempy? I'm going to go with it today. But because of that, I think they'd be concerned about the environmental impact of dyeing green. So we said no on that one.
Portland, Oregon does not dye their river green. The city is green enough as it is. Nicely done. Question number 4 is for the locals. Does Tampa dye their river green? Yes, they do. You don't even get to answer that.
As a local tampon, born and raised here in Tampa, I do know that they dye it.
Number 5, Washington, D.C. Pub trivia, what do you say?
I feel like the Potomac is too big of a river to dye. We had concerns about that. It's a huge river. It's big, massive, wide. So we were concerned about that. We also thought that we'd see it on TV if they did. Like there'd be some big presidential thing or something like that. So we said no.
So it's interesting that you brought presidents up because what city is infamous for dyeing the river green every year? Anyone know?
Chicago.
Where are the Obamas from?
Oh.
It is a tradition that started with the Obamas. Washington, D.C. does, in fact, dye its river green.
Uh-huh.
That was 4 yeses and 1 no.
Thanks, Obama.
All right. We're going to move into round 1. Round 1, question number 1. Your category is Friday the 13th. This is going to be something spooky related. And I will tell you, round 1, question number 1 does have an opportunity for some bonus points. Often referred to as the Lost Colony, the attempted establishment at Roanoke in 1587 was found abandoned in 1590 with only a handful of clues about what happened to the roughly 115 colonists. I want you to tell me, in what present-day U.S. state would the colony of Roanoke been in? For a bonus 2 points, can you tell me it's not Indiana? For a bonus 2 points, can you tell me what word was carved into the fence post when the supply ship arrived in 1590? Good luck.
I am not a horror fan, but I do know that he said something that was carved on the ship that came in. So it's got to be a port city.
I know the state. I don't know the second part of it, but the state is definitely North Carolina.
North Carolina. Okay. All right. So we got the state of North Carolina. What was carved on the ship, he said?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one.
No, neither am I.
What do you think would be carved on the side of the ship?
I'm usually too chicken to watch these kind of movies.
Yeah. Since you and I are notorious for not liking scary things.
I don't know. I'm thinking maybe red rum or something.
That's scary. I know that is a scary thing.
I'm pretty sure it's a different movie, but
yeah, red rum is from The Shining.
Yeah.
Because it's murder spelled.
I mean, it would be something like that, I think. Something intimidating, should we say.
Okay. So are we going with North Carolina and red rum?
North Carolina, and we don't know, so
red rum.
Your guess, honestly, is as probably good as mine.
Yeah. Because what was it? Something that was written on the side of the ship?
I think it was something that was carved into the post on the ship, he said. Roanoke Massacre. I really don't know my history, because this is based on...
For some reason, I knew Roanoke was in North Carolina. And I think they might have done like an American Horror Story season or something.
That's right, they did.
But I don't watch that show, so I don't.
Yeah, no.
Round 1, question number 1. Your category wasn't Friday the 13th. Often referred to as the Lost Colony, the attempted establishment at Roanoke in 1587 was found abandoned in 1590 with only a handful of clues about what happened to its roughly 115 colonists. In what present-day U.S. state would the colony of Roanoke been in? Pub Trivia Team, what did you say?
So, the Pub Trivia Team is made up of 2 people who are terrified of horror stuff. So, this is going to be a rough round for us. I think we said North Carolina.
They said North Carolina. There were a lot of people out there that guessed Virginia. And while there is a Roanoke in Virginia, it is pretty far inland. The correct answer is North Carolina.
Whoop, whoop.
Unfortunately, I don't think anyone got the bonus points.
Yeah, we said red rum. Because, again, lack of knowledge of horror flicks or American Horror Story. When they're
Your correct answer, and it's unsure what the colonists meant when they carved this. It was actually the word Croatoan. Round 1, question number 2 in your category isn't spring break. In the late 1990s, what Florida city started to advertise itself as a spring break destination after other cities enacted alcohol restrictions? And it worked. Between 2010 and 2016, an estimated 300,000 college students flocked to this beachside city before they were forced to enact similar alcohol restrictions. Good luck.
alcohol restrictions.
Okay, so it's a beach city in Florida.
Yep.
So
There's two that come to mind instantly. For some reason, I want to say like Cocoa Beach, Daytona area. The other is Panama City. Ooh,
isn't that good for podcasting?
that is a crispy, crispy, crisp. So, yeah, I know Panama City's big for...
I feel like it's like rich people spring breaking.
Okay.
I know people from like Alabama and Mississippi and stuff. Like I had friends in college that's where they would always spring break.
Ah, okay.
So
when,
I know it's a big destination because like none of my friends around here would go all the way to Panama City. There's few beaches here.
yeah.
I know people would go to Daytona. Don't know that many people who would go to Miami, but I'm thinking if it's a beach type city, it would probably have like beach in the name.
Yeah.
So Panama City Beach, Daytona Beach, Miami Beach.
I'm liking Daytona.
Daytona? Okay.
Yeah.
I know
I have
it's
a
a
feeling.
big-
Well, and I'm trying to think, when were these restrictions?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
Put
know
in
anything about the
place.
restriction stuff.
Yeah.
That's not going to help me get to an
It's
answer.
like, I don't know if this is spring break 1840. That might be different.
Right, exactly.
No, the only other thing I can think is Cocoa Beach for some reason as a big one for the surf, but that's the surf shop and stuff.
Yeah,
And,
I was going to say, I know Daytona and Cocoa Beach are both known for surfing.
yeah.
Like if you're going to go surfing in Florida, those are the places to go.
All right. So,
So you want to go Daytona?
yep, we'll go Daytona.
Daytona Beach.
All right, round 1, question number 2. Your category was in spring break. Pub Trivia Experience Team. Oh, man, what did you say?
Well, obviously, when you think spring break, you think Tarpon Springs. But the other two options that we thought were either it was between Daytona Beach or Panama City. Those are kind of the two spring break hotspots for us. And out of a coin toss, we went with Daytona Beach.
Oh, you got some. Oh, man.
Uh-oh.
I think that was good.
So Daytona Beach is a well-known spring break destination, and it has been for a long time.
You know, we're
The
definitely
correct
all-
answer is the Panhandle Zone, Panama City Beach. Nicely done, nicely done. Round 1, question number 3. Your category is in St. Patrick's Day. Rumor has it Dr. Thomas Curtin from the Bronx was the first person to start doing what that has now become a St. Patrick's Day tradition?
Okay, so what are some St. Patrick's Day traditions?
Yeah, kissing someone? The whole kiss me, I'm Irish thing?
Oh, yeah, that's one. That was like wearing green.
Wearing green, yep.
Drinking.
Wear green. Would drinking green beer be considered a
Huh?
St. Patrick's Day
Yeah,
tradition?
because why would you drink green beer on another day?
Green beer. and Kiss Me. All right, so wearing green. Oh, maybe it's the pinch if you're not wearing green, pinch. That kind of thing. 1914. That's the start of World War One. The year was 1914, so that's World War One starting right then. And dude's from the Bronx, so we came up with 4 traditions. We've got wearing green, we've got pinching you if you don't wear green, we've got drinking green beer, and we've got kissing me. So of those, which one sounds Bronx-ish?
I don't know.
I feel like the pinch you if you're not wearing green is kind of in your face New York kind of Bronxy aggressive thing.
That.
Yep.
I like that one. Let's do that one.
Round 1, question number 3. Your category was in St. Patrick's Day. Rumor has it that Dr. Thomas Curtin from the Bronx was the first person to start doing what that is now a well-known St. Patrick's Day tradition pub trivia experience team. What did you say?
Well, my wife is going to kill me because I'm like 34% Irish. So
and
if
she's
I don't
like
get
100%
this,
Puerto Rican, so I don't know why she can be mad at you for this.
If I don't get this, she's going to hold this over my head. We could think of like 4 different traditions. Wearing green, pinching you if you're green, drinking green beer, or kissing you if you're Irish. And so of those 4, we thought, what was the most Bronx, New York, in-your-face aggressive one? And we went with pinching you if you're not wearing green.
They went with pinching. Anyone else go with pinching? Anyone go with punching?
Wait, that's a thing?
It's going to be soon.
I don't like that tradition. I bruise easily.
Your correct answer, make some noise if you said dyeing your beer green.
Oh, the green beer.
Or drinking green beer, got the points too. Nicely done, nicely done. Here we go. Round 1, question number 4. Your category is in alcohol. Woohoo! Mine too. According to a 2015 study, Americans and Europeans with what color eyes had the highest level of alcohol misuse? This might explain some of Frank Sinatra's behavior.
Okay, do you know what color eyes Frank Sinatra had?
So, my initial reaction, being Irish and knowing the alcohol abuse in Ireland, I was thinking green. But Frankie was known as Old Blue Eyes.
Oh, so
we're going with Blue Eyes.
Round 1, question number 4. Your category was in alcohol. According to a 2015 study, Americans and Europeans with what color eyes had the highest level of alcohol misuse? This might explain some of Frank Sinatra's behavior. Pub trivia experience team, I'm going to tell you. Not to put too much pressure on you, but if you get this wrong, you ruin a social. Literally everyone else got this question right.
All right. I got this, Chris. Don't worry about that. You see, we all know that Irish people drink a lot, and Irish have green eyes, so no, I'm joking. Frank Sinatra was Old Blue Eyes. We're going with blue.
And that is a social. Everyone raise a glass and take a drink. It's our first social of the evening. Congrats, everybody. Round 2, question number 1. And as you know, that means your category is Friday the 13th. I am a horror movie fan, and I will tell you that one of the scariest moments that I have ever had watching TV or movies was from episode 12 of this Netflix television series, and the scare comes out of nowhere. This show revolves around a family coming to terms with what happened to them while they lived in a haunted house. Tell me what television show I'm talking about.
All right.
Well, you and I do not like scary things.
No.
But my husband does, so...
I would tend to lean towards what were some shows he was really into,
right.
But... So, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm trying to think of what Netflix shows are scary. The only thing I can think of is Stranger Things.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, but
right.
That doesn't have a haunted house.
No, that's not a haunted house unless... Well, no. No, it's not that. American Horror Story sounds like it's in the realm of that, but that wasn't a Netflix show.
It's on Netflix
that was like
now,
an
but
FX
it was on Netflix,
show or something like that.
So I'm thinking, what did I watch? So I watched with him this show called, what was it called? the Umbrella Academy, which was about these kids that grew up in this big
Oh,
house.
yeah.
And I think they had like superpowers. There was something paranormal.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't remember that show being like scary. Like I remember getting pieces of it when Chris was watching it, but I don't remember it being like spooky. It was more like I don't know. But
Yeah.
then I do remember that there was this. I think it was like a remake of like a movie. I think the movie was House on Haunted Hill, and I think there was a Netflix show that was based on that. But it was called something different but similar. Like
it was a series because he said it was in episode 12, and that's what's throwing me because it's not like a 2-hour movie. It's
right. But yeah, so those are the ones I'm coming to. Is that I remember this other movie was about. So what did I say? The movie was called House on Haunted Hill, and then they made it into a TV series. I'm pretty sure it was on Netflix because that's where we watched. I don't know if it was originally on something else, but I just can't remember what it was. But it was all based on like the same book. So,
what
like,
it was named of.
Yeah, the movie was House on Haunted Hill, and that came out in like the 2000s. And then this was based on the same original source material, but had a slightly different name, and I just can't remember what it was. And then that Umbrella Academy, which I don't think was very scary, and Stranger Things. Those are the spooky ones that I can think of.
Yeah, Stranger Things got really intense and scary towards the end, but that was only 10 episodes, I think, or so.
And it's had several seasons. I think it has 3 seasons. So I feel like he would have said in season something episode 12. But I don't know if we have a better answer.
Yeah, I'm going to go with whatever the remake of that House on Haunted Hill was. I can't think of the name, but...
I can't either. I mean, I can always say...
Yep.
Because that's at least because he said it was a spooky house or something that the family grew up in. That's what made me think of it.
Yep.
All right. Round 2, question number 1, your category was Friday the 13th. One of the scariest moments I have ever had watching a TV show or a movie came in episode 12 of this Netflix show. And the scare literally came out of nowhere. The show revolved around a family coming to terms with their childhood while living in a haunted house. What television show am I talking about? Pub Trivia Experience. What did you say?
Yeah, we struggled with this one again.
Hold on. We watched this show together.
I couldn't remember what it's called.
Like, when this happened, I jumped out of the couch and yelled an expletive at the TV. It got me that much.
I think I got real close to the time.
Oh, my Lord. All right, Joel, tell me what wrong answer you gave me.
So, I watched Stranger Things, and that scared the bejeebies out of me. So, if it's worse than that, we said she was coming up with The House on Haunted Hill. Like, that was the movie, and it was redone for a TV show or something like that.
They went with the House on Haunted Hill. It's really close. But make some noise if you're one of the 2 teams that gave us the correct answer, which is The Haunting at Hill House.
The Haunting?
The Haunting at Hill House.
That's what we said. We were just dyslexic.
Yeah.
Round 2, question number 2. Your category is in spring break. Fort Lauderdale has become a college student destination after what New York college's swim team went there to practice all the way back in 1934. Rumor has it they had the whitest smiles anyone had ever seen.
Or what is having a white smile?
So I would assume that means rich or class or something like that. Or lots of fluoride in the water.
Yeah.
So what are some New York colleges?
So there's Columbia. There's
NYU.
Ithaca. What's the other Ivy League? Cornell. I think Cornell is in upstate New York. That's what I'm thinking. White. I'm like white, and I'm thinking rich schools. So that's why I was like Ivy League would be like the Columbia.
None of like the Harvard's not in it. That's up.
Harvard is Massachusetts. I think the only Ivy Leagues are Columbia and Cornell.
Okay.
And I feel like NYU. Why would?
Yeah, no,
that
they
doesn't
wouldn't.
make sense.
No.
And I know Ithaca, but it's a smaller school, I think. Because I think Cornell is in Ithaca, New York, in Ithaca College or Ithaca University is also in that city.
Yeah. Yep, that one makes sense.
And there's like Buffalo. I don't know if Buffalo has a school.
This is odd logic. What did Andy go to on The Office?
Oh.
Was that Cornell?
I feel like it was Cornell.
I'm going to go with that.
Picture him wearing a Cornell. Okay, let's do Cornell.
All right. I'm going to go out on a limb and tell you right now, Brown University was not the right answer. I know, but I'm still going to poke fun. They're never coming back. Bill, I'm sorry. Round 2, question number 2. Your category was in spring break. Fort Lauderdale became a college student destination after what New York College's swim team went there to practice way back in 1934. Rumor has it they had the whitest smiles ever seen. Pub Trivia Experience team.
The whitest smiles threw me off. I was trying to think of that. So we're thinking, what are some like Ivy League rich schools because they could afford good dental care and that kind of stuff? We went with Cornell University.
They went the Ivy League route with Cornell University.
Yeah, no.
I gave you a hint, but you have to know that this is actually a college as well as a brand of toothpaste.
What?
The correct answer is Colgate University.
Colgate University? That's a thing?
Colgate University is a thing.
Are they known for their dental program?
Oh, everyone shows up for your bad jokes. All right. Round 2, question number 3. Your category is St. Patrick's Day. I am going to read you 3 statements about St. Patrick. You have to tell me which one of these statements is incorrect, A, B, or C. This is also known as 2 truths and a lie. A, St. Patrick was captured and enslaved by pirates when he was a teenager. B, records from the time state that St. Patrick died on March 17th. Or C, despite being called the patron saint of Ireland, despite being called the patron saint of Ireland, he is not actually a patron saint in Catholicism.
All right. So
we're picking the incorrect one?
Correct. 2 of those are true, and 1 is a lie.
Looking for which one of those is incorrect. 2 truths and a lie.
I actually remember hearing the story of St. Patrick that he was...
We want the one that's a lie.
That he was captured as a teen and enslaved, and then he got away, and then he went back to his captors to preach the gospel to them. So I have a feeling that A is true because of that. I could see C not being true as kind of a goofy little thing, that he might not have been sainted. And in order to be a saint, you have to have performed like a miracle or something like that. And so I think that he was missing that part of it. He was an evangelist, and he did go back and preach a lot, but I don't think he actually obtained sainthood. But he was such a good guy that they called him a saint for going back and forgiving the people who enslaved him.
That sounds good to me.
So we're going to go with C, not a saint.
Not an official saint.
Like me. I'm not an official saint.
All right. Round 2. Question number 3. Your category was in St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, shy.
2 truths and a lie. Which one of these 3 statements is incorrect? Statement number 1. St. Patrick was actually captured and enslaved by pirates when he was a teenager. Statement number 2. Records from the time state that St. Patrick died on March 17th. Statement number 3. Despite being called the patron saint of Ireland, he is not actually a patron saint in Catholicism. In your best Irish accent, Mr. Trumbach, what is your guess?
Well, the good... No, I can't do that. I'm sorry.
No, you can't.
So, I vaguely remember St. Patrick being captured as a teen and enslaved, and then he got free, and the thing that made him kind of like special or a saint was that he went back to preach to the same people who enslaved him. And so I think that A was true. And B as well, March 17th. I think that's where they got the date from. However, C, that he's not a saint, I would believe to be alive, because in order to be a saint, I believe you have to perform a miracle to be considered a saint in Catholicism. So we're going with C.
Did anybody else go with C? C is your correct answer. He is.
All right.
He is a patron saint. Nicely done. Round 2, question number 4. Your category is in alcohol. Whoop, whoop. Here is your question. Accounting for roughly 84% of total wine production in the U.S., it's no shock that California has a firm grasp as the top wine-producing state. I want you to tell me what Pacific time zone state is second on the list, producing roughly 5% of the United States wine.
All right. California was one with 84%. So what's number 2 and what's Pacific time zone? So do you know where in California wine country is?
I think it's like Northern California.
So above San Francisco, kind of there. So Oregon's right by there. That might have the same climate.
No, that's in the same time zone.
Right. What's to the side of that? Because I know Nevada.
Well, Idaho's next to Washington.
Nevada's in the same time zone as well. Yeah. So you got Nevada, Arizona. What's above that? Is it Colorado?
I think Colorado is more east. I don't think they're in the Pacific time zone.
Utah?
I think they're like.
What's the Four Corners that's right there?
That is that Colorado, Arizona, New Mexico, and something else?
Okay, New Mexico. So that's further east than I was thinking.
So I would say Arizona is Pacific time zone, Oregon, Nevada, Washington.
I haven't heard of many Arizona wines.
No, Idaho, that's known for potatoes?
Yep, that's spuds.
Nevada.
That would make vodka.
Nevada we went to 2 summers ago, and I don't remember seeing a lot of wine stuff advertised, because I think it's a lot of desert.
Yeah.
And not as much like
it's Vegas.
And stuff, yeah.
It's Vegas and Reno.
And deserts.
All right, so let's go with.
I'm thinking you need to be more of a green.
Yeah, I'm thinking Oregon.
Oregon? Okay, let's do it.
Oregon or Washington. I think Washington might get too cold.
Yeah, and Oregon is, well, at least Portland is known for like hipsters and stuff, so they probably have like a lot of like.
Yeah, bougie taste and palates. Yeah. All right.
The other Pacific ones would be what? Alaska? I don't even know if that's in the Pacific time zone. Hawaii?
Alaska is. Hawaii's too far over. That's in a different time zone.
We at least picked a state that's in the Pacific time zone.
This is true, yeah.
All right.
Are you ready to hear some flawed logic?
I am ready to hear some flawed logic, Joel. Round 2, question number 4. Your category was in alcohol. While California accounts for roughly 84% of total wine produced in the U.S., what U.S. state is number 2, roughly 5%? Pub Trivia Experience team, let me hear your flawed logic.
Well, my favorite type of wine is cooler, so I don't know much about these. We started thinking about Pacific time zone. Nevada's all desert, so it can't be that. Northern California is kind of wine country, so we're thinking what's similar to that. And we went with Oregon, because that seems like a lush green, good for grape growing state.
They went with Oregon. Unfortunately, Oregon is not correct.
Oh!
I didn't make the wine.
It is Washington.
Washington? Further. Wouldn't that freeze? Is that frozen wine?
Hold on. Say that again. Change it to Oregon or his kid is grounded for... Oh, my God.
That's harsh.
That's harsh. Dang. But we're going to roll on to halftime. Halftime's a little bit different. You're going to be given 5 minutes to get your answers in. It is 5 answers, 4 points per correct answer for a total of 20 points for those math majors out there. According to USA Today, tell me the top 5 selling beers in the U.S. Individual brands of beer, not the big conglomerates that own them. So Natty Light and Natural Select are 2 different beers, even though they're owned by the same company.
Okay.
Natty Light would be 1.
So Michelob is 1, Michelob Light is 1, Michelob Ultra is another one. But so it's each individual.
Each individual.
Cool.
Natty Light is not a correct answer. Do not put it down, despite what Mike Mott drinks on a regular basis.
Burn. Okay.
You're reading behind us on a wall.
Not here. Here at wonderful Anclote Brewery, I do not believe that they specialize in these beers, although they may have them. So it's got to be Budweiser is one of them.
So Budweiser and Budweiser, like Bud Light, is something different?
Correct. It would be different. So it's got to be some sort of Bud, because I think that's the number 1.
So Budweiser, I was thinking, what else is there? Coors?
There's Coors. We got Bud.
Busch?
Coors.
I'm thinking, what do they have baseball stadiums named after?
Oh, that's true.
There's a Busch Stadium, there's a Coors Stadium.
That means they got money. Michelob. I mean, Corona is pretty popular.
Corona.
He didn't say American companies. He said top 5 selling beers in America. So
like Heineken?
Oh, Heineken's a good one, yep.
That's foreign, right? But it's still... What's the other one that Chris orders a lot?
Stella?
Yingling.
Oh, Yingling.
That's like if he doesn't like anything else that's on the menu, he'll order a Yingling.
Yep. So which ones of these are the most popular?
You definitely gotta go with the Budweiser one. Especially because we are here in
Is
Tampa Bay area, and...
Anheuser-Busch?
Yeah, they used to have a big thing in Busch Gardens and stuff.
So which was their most popular? I don't think it's regular Bud. I think it's Bud Light.
I would say Bud Light. I would
right.
feel better about that.
I know Michelob Ultra was really, really popular because that was the no-carb one.
Yeah, and I felt like my friends, when they diet, that's what they... When they do low carb or whatever, that's the drink that they get when they go out.
Coors, is that the one that has the can that turns blue when it's cold and that kind of stuff?
I don't know.
I know that they've got a real popular one. Okay. But I think it's just... Is it Coors or Coors Light?
I know the whole light thing is throwing me off. I'm inclined to go light a lot because people are going to choose the light.
I think more people are choosing that. Now, if you don't care about calories and you want a good tasting beer, usually you go small brewery, IPA, that kind of thing, or something like that.
Like a dark, like a stout, maybe.
Right. Oh, Guinness? I don't know if a lot of people are drinking that.
Yeah, I don't know.
St. Patty's Day, maybe, but not outside of there.
Is that Irish? Is that an Irish beer?
Yes, it is. Yep. So, let's go Bud Light, Coors Light, Mick Ultra, Heineken.
And then we've got Corona, Guinness, Busch, Yingling. What else is there? Like if someone were to order something at a restaurant and they say, "What do you have on draft?" Or "What do you have on tap?" What do they usually say? I have no idea because I never pay attention because I don't drink beer.
Yeah.
We at least have a lot.
We do.
We just gotta pick which ones. Well, we just need one more.
Yep. So, what did we say before that? We said Corona, Yingling. Which one do you think?
Guinness,
Yingling
Busch,
has their own center at USF.
Oh, they do? Is that their...
They took over the Sun Dome at USF. They named it the Yingling Center because their big bottling plant is right by there.
Oh, okay. I'm just thinking you can find Yingling in places. I would say Yingling over Guinness.
Yeah. So Yingling or Corona. See, I think we see a lot of Corona here in Florida, but I don't necessarily think it's as popular
it's kind
around.
Of beachy, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of a Jimmy Buffett kind of thing.
Right.
So, I don't know. Let's go with Yingling, unless something pops into your head.
All right. Your halftime question was, according to a USA Today article, name the top 5 selling beers of 2019 in the U.S. Pub Trivia Experience team, one by one, give me your list.
You're asking the people who don't like beer.
No, neither one of them really drink, so this is a great idea.
I'm having a nice rum runner up here. And the most popular beer, in our opinion, based off of commercial ads and just what we've seen at 7-Eleven, is Bud Light.
Number 1 with a bullet is Bud Light.
Ooh, I got one. All right.
All right, what else is on your list?
Number 2, we went with the coolest can of them all, the one that turns blue when it's chilled, the Coors Light with the iced Rocky Mountains.
You went with the mountains, and you've actually got 2 for 2 in order. The number 2 best-selling beer in the U.S. is Coors Light.
Wow. I watch a lot of commercials. Number 3, I went with the most popular beer a couple years ago with at least my family and my wife's family, because light and diet was all the rage. We went Michelob Ultra.
Michelob Ultra is not on the list.
Oh.
What else?
We said maybe the next one would be another popular one among my wife's family, the Heineken brand.
I will tell you this. Heineken is actually the best-selling beer in Ireland.
Really?
It is not on the list in the U.S.
No.
All right.
And as a 5th one, just because, to pay homage to the wonderful University of South Florida and the former Sun Dome that was there, we went with Yuengling.
Yuengling is my go-to beer when I'm at home. It would be shocking to know that Yuengling is not all that well distributed west of the Mississippi, though. It is not on the list.
Really? That's an Eastern beer. All right, so we got 2 for 5.
You got 2. Your correct answers, and make some noise if you listed them: Bud Light,
Woo!
Coors Light.
Got that one? All right.
In college, we used to call it heavy or Bud Heavy. It is Budweiser.
Just a good old standard Budweiser.
Number 4 on the list, Miller Lite.
Ah.
And number 5, and probably not the best-selling beer right now, it's Corona.
Oh.
Thought about it.
You got one. You got one.
Speaking of which, I'm going to break to wash my hands.
And real quick, I do want to clarify something here, everybody. I have verified it on 2 different sources. Washington is the number 2 producer of wine in the U.S.
Sorry, kid, you're grounded.
On both those sources, Oregon was not even number 3. It was New York.
This wine's made in New York City.
All right. Before we head into round 3, here are your halftime scores. With 28 points, we've got the Scouts with 32 points. Give it up for Dink. Okay. With 44 points, the professional team, Pub Trivia Experience. With 46 points, we got GNC. With 54 points, and currently sitting in 4th place, we've got Spicy. With 56 points and clinging to 3rd place, El Frenchies. Currently in 2nd place with 64 points. Make some noise if you are Jack Fire. We got the newbies in the back coming in here and just like tossing everybody around. Your leaders right now at halftime with 72 points. The Rivercrest Crew. Round 3, question number 1, your category is Friday the 13th.
Uh-oh.
What well-known actor had small parts in the original Friday the 13th movie, Animal House, and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I'd say he had a slightly above average part in Wild Things.
So,
I've never seen any of these movies.
really? Unfortunately, as a man, Wild Things, I only paid attention to the women that were in that movie.
So he said something about having a larger part. Isn't there a guy in that movie who exposes himself? In that movie? Do we see some male exposure?
No, I don't think so.
I know the girls make out. There's a threesome. And I know that that's Nev Campbell and Matt Dillon and...
Matt Dillon?
Who's that other girl? There's another girl involved. Matt Dillon, I think, is the main guy. I've never seen that.
So do you think he might be the one who had a bigger part in the other one?
Because Animal House, didn't that come out in the 80s? Was Matt Dillon big in the 80s? I don't know. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, I have no idea when that came out.
So Animal House was Belushi.
Okay. Was a Belushi in Wild Things?
No. I don't think Belushi was more comedic. So I could see him in possibly I know he was in Animal House, possibly Planes, Trains. I don't see him as Friday the 13th.
Which one's Friday the 13th? Is that the Jason Voorhees or is that the
Friday the 13th is the Freddy Krueger.
Okay. I know Johnny Depp got his start in a
Freddy Krueger was Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, okay.
Friday the 13th is Jason.
Okay.
The camp. Yeah.
So those have teenagers. So
right.
They would have been a teenager probably in that one. I just don't know. The only thing so Belushi was in Animal House. Dylan, we know, was in Wild Things. And I don't know anything about the others.
Wild Things, you said the threesome was Nev Campbell,
Matt Dillon, and some other chick. So I just have no idea. Because, like I said, I've never seen any of these movies.
Yeah. I've seen Animal House, but I've never paid attention to many of the actors. I just saw it was a funny one. Planes, Trains, I haven't seen in so long. That had a lot of fun one-liners.
So was that like an 80s movie?
Yes.
Or 70s? Or...
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles was Steve Martin and John Candy.
Okay. I don't think either of those would have been in Wild Things?
Nope. Unless you were playing like the father or something.
Right. Who do you want to say?
I'm going to go with Matt Dillon.
All right. Round 3, question number 1. Your category was in Friday the 13th. What well-known actor had small parts in the original Friday the 13th movie along with Animal House and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? I would wager he had a slightly larger than normal part in the movie Wild Things. Pub Trivia Experience team, what did you say?
So, being a man, and my wife is not here, so I'll say this quickly. Wild Things was a very influential movie for me as a young teenager. So I remember Denise Richards, I remember Nev Campbell, and Matt Dillon having a quite intricate scene. And that is the only name that I can think of that we came up with. So we're going to go with Matt Dillon, assuming his role in the other ones.
So you got the 3 stars right. There is Nev Campbell, Denise Richards, and Matt Dillon. But there is a very infamous shower scene in this movie where you get to see all 6 degrees of Mr. Kevin Bacon.
Oh.
I didn't know he was in that movie.
Neither did I.
All right.
Gotten by Bacon again.
Round 3, question number 2. Your category is in Spring Break. In 2019, MTV brought back its popular show, MTV Spring Break. Throughout its history, it has been held in well-known party locations such as Panama City, Daytona Beach, and Jamaica. When it returned, what party city in Mexico played host to the show?
Well, you go on cruises a lot more than I do. I can only think of one party city in Mexico, and I know that it's also a popular travel place on cruises, especially if you're leaving from Florida. So you tell me, when you've gone on cruises to Mexico, where have you been?
So we've stayed in the Gulf side of Mexico. So I would say the number one cruise place on that side is Cancun.
That is what I was thinking, because I hear a lot about Cancun being a party city.
Now, the only other places I can think of, Tijuana, but that's landlocked. That's kind of in the middle.
And people from San Diego and like LA and stuff like to drive there because it's not too far.
Right. But then on the other side, at the end of that little peninsula that comes down, you have Cabo San Lucas. And that's a big one, too. So it would be between the two of those. Now, you said, I know they did something in Cabo, but it was the real world, right?
Yeah, well, and I know they used to do the challenges, like the Real World Road Rules challenges. I know they did that in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. So
that could show a pattern of using Cabo, or it could be they did Cancun for the other.
Yeah,
you're going with Cancun?
Cancun is stronger, but maybe that's just because based on our location in Florida, we hear about Cancun more. Whereas, like, if we
that's true.
were living in California, we probably lean towards it. I don't know why Cancun just jumps out to me more as like the party destination.
All right.
All right. Round 3, question number 2. Your category was in spring break. In 2019, MTV brought back its popular show, MTV Spring Break. Throughout its history, it's been held in such iconic party locations as Panama City, Daytona Beach, and Jamaica. When it returned, what party city in New Mexico played host to the show? There is not a party city in New Mexico.
Albuquerque.
Woo! Let's go Albuquerque.
MTV Albuquerque. That's what I want to see. Pub Trivia Experience Team, what did you say?
So we thought of 2 spring break party destinations in there. First, we thought Cabo, because they had Real World down in Cabo, and they had what else? Another one in there. The Road Rules went down there, the challenge. But we still think the bigger party city is Cancun. So we went with Cancun, Mexico.
To me, there's 4 answers to this question. It could be Cancun. It could be Cabo. It could be Cozumel. And no one said Tijuana.
I think is Tijuana landlocked? So that's not really a spring break thing, I think.
You're correct. Hold on. I did not give an answer yet. Your correct answer, though, make some noise if you said Cancun.
Woo! Cancun.
All right. Round 3, question number 3. Your category is in St. Patrick's Day. While St. Patrick's Day parades happened in the 1700s in both New York and Boston, what Florida city was the first to have a St. Patrick's Day parade? It happened in the year 1600. It included cannons firing from Castillo de San Marcos, the fort nearby.
I know it.
Yeah, I think we got this one.
Thank goodness. This is where we make a comeback.
All right.
Round 3.
1600. It's got to be an old city. And the giveaway, the Castillo del Martin, not only makes it placed at an old city, but the oldest city in the U.S., correct?
I don't know.
That
it's an old one in Florida.
Is that St. Augustine?
Yeah, I know that's the name of the fort, I think. Is the
Yes. Yep.
Whatever he said.
The Castillo de Martin or whatever it was. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's what we're going to go with.
All right. Round 3, question number 3. Your category was in St. Patrick's Day. While St. Patrick's Day parades happened in the 1700s in both New York and in Boston, what Florida city was the first to have a St. Patrick's Day parade in the year 1600? It included cannons firing from the fort Castillo de San Marcos. Pub Trivia Experience Team, what did you say?
1600 is quite an old city. It almost sounds like it needs to be the oldest city. So we went with St. Augustine.
And it's a good thing you did. St. Augustine is your correct answer.
Whoop, whoop.
Nicely done. Round 3, question number 4. Your category is in alcohol. While this alcohol is also distilled here locally in Tarpon Springs at the Tarpon Springs Distillery, it is actually the national liquor of Greece. Its origins trace all the way back to 14th century monks in Mount Athos. What is the name of this liquor?
All right. So, I know they have like a Greek liquor.
Okay. Do you know what it's called?
I'm wringing my head through Mamma Mia and
Oh.
and
I was thinking about Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Big Fat Greek Wedding. What is it called? So sake is like the Japanese wine.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, so there's only certain letters.
I want to say it starts with an O.
Okay.
I want to say orzo, but that's like the
That's
rice.
Yeah, that's like a rice pasta.
Ozu.
So what letters do they use a lot of? K's? M's? It's like moussaka. I'm pretty sure that's like...
Moussaka. Moussaka is like, yeah, like the... it's almost like a dolomite, I think, like the wrapped leaf, grape leaf or something like that. It's a... Ozu... Oh my god, this is killing me. It's an OZA, OZU. I think it's Ozu. OZU. Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Round 3, question number 4. Your category was in alcohol. While this alcohol is distilled here locally at the Tarpon Springs Distillery, it is also the national liquor of Greece. Its origins trace all the way back to 14th century monks in Mount Athos in northern Greece. What is the name of this alcohol? Pub Trivia Experience Team.
There is
Make me proud.
whole lot of pressure if I get this wrong here,
In
being
Tarpon
that we're
Springs,
recording
Florida? Yeah,
in
if you get
Tarpon
this wrong,
Springs.
there's a lot of pressure.
Okay, so I initially thought, for some reason, an O kept coming to mind. Opa or Oza or something like that, and I think it's called Uza or Uzo. Something to that nature, but it's like Uzo or something.
Now, you did write down Uzo. You did not write down Uza. So you wrote down Uzo. I saw that.
Yeah, with an O.
So your correct answer, it's a good thing you wrote that down because it is, in fact, Uzo. Nicely done.
Uzo. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are on to our final round of the evening. Round 4. Hold on. This is not the wagering round. This is the final round of our regular game. Round 4, question number 1. You guessed it, your category is in Friday the 13th. In the fields of both ghost hunting and parapsychology, one of the methods ghost hunters use is referred to as EVP. This is a process of using audio recordings and then listening back for possible spirit voices. In this field, what does EVP stand for?
EVP.
Do you follow Pub Trivia Experience on Facebook?
I do, but I didn't get a chance to do it today. Was it today's?
It was today's.
Ooh. Oh.
So the first one is, I believe it's electronic.
So,
Maybe electronic.
so I know that, believe it or not, I found out that Dan Aykroyd is like really into ghosts and aliens
that's
and
funny.
stuff. So like Ghostbusters, like autobiographical.
Yeah, you know, right?
But I remember him talking about this, and there was a show where they would put people in like this haunted place, and they had to stay all night in there,
Oh.
and they gave them all this equipment. I want to say EVP was electronic voice something, because they were listening for voices
Oh,
in
so
there
it makes
on
sense.
different frequencies.
So P, electronic voice. I put paranormal down, but that doesn't make sense to follow. Electronic.
Well, paranormal, because it's looking for those kinds of frequencies.
Right, that's why I put paranormal down, is because it's like for ghosts and stuff. And they don't like to use the term ghost, they like to use the term paranormal. But I feel like it would be like electronic voice for, like, paranormal doesn't sound like,
Right.
like EVP would be device.
Like if it had activity at the end.
Right.
Electronic voice, paranormal activity,
Right.
something sensor or something. But I can't think of anything else that would make sense there. All right, let's go with that. And a shout out to follow the Pub Trivia Experience on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter to get your daily dose of pub trivia.
And I saw this today, and I didn't think I was recording tonight, so I didn't really, I saw it, and I was like, I remember thinking, oh, that's not going to stick in my brain anyway, so I didn't even, think to, once I realized I was recording, to go back and look at it.
Fair enough.
Totally forgot, because I thought, oh, I'm just keeping score tonight. I don't have to worry about knowing the answer.
That's all right. We'll blame it on new mommy brain.
Yeah.
Round 4, question number 1. Your category was in Friday the 13th. Your question, in the fields of ghost hunting and parapsychology, one of the methods they use to determine if a place is haunted is called EVP. This is a process of using audio recordings and listening back for possible spirit voices. What does EVP stand for in this group? Pub Trivia Experience team, what did you say?
So the first time I heard this term was actually Dan Aykroyd talking about it, who is really oddly huge into ghosts and aliens and all things kind of paranormal like that. But I believe it stood for electronic voice paranormal or paranormal something of that nature.
Okay. If you follow the Pub Trivia Experience on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, the Friday of every live show, we are going to post a trivia question of the day that will be featured in that night's show. And we did that today. Your correct answer, EVP, stands for Electronic Voice Phenomenon.
Phenomenon.
Phenomena.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Phenomena.
Do-do-do-do.
Phenomena.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah, we can't afford the rights to that.
Oh, yeah. Scratch that.
The correct answer is, in fact, not extra vibration pulsation.
Whoa.
That was your wife, by the way.
Whoa. Whoa. We need to have a talk when we get home, honey.
You can frame that when you get home.
Extra vibration pulsation.
Round 4, question number 2. Your category is in spring break. What musician in 2013 Academy of Country Music Entertainer of the Year has released the following 4 EPs? They are titled Spring Break, Spring Break 2, The Hangover Edition, Spring Break 3, It's a Sure Thing, and Spring Break 4, Suntan City.
Wow. I think he has a thing about spring break.
What musician in 2013 Academy of Country Music Entertainer of the Year released the following 4 EPs? Spring Break, Spring Break 2, The Hangover Edition, Spring Break 3, It's a Sure Thing, and It's a Sure Thing. And Spring Break 4, Suntan City. You got 3 minutes to get me an answer. Good luck, country music fans.
So, I actually kind of think I have an idea for this one.
Good, because I do not.
Though I'm not a big fan of country music,
Okay, me either.
I am a big fan of Jimmy Buffett.
Oh,
And he has done several collaborations with Kenny Chesney. He's kind of a Florida beachy vibe country
Kenny
thing.
Chesney definitely screams spring break.
Right.
Beaches.
Now, he said Entertainer of the Year. I know Garth Brooks has won that 8,000 times, but I don't see him doing spring break albums.
I mean, he wouldn't have won in 2013. He would have won
Earlier that, yeah. Yep. So that's the only thing that I can think is Kenny Chesney.
All right. Round 4, question number 2. Your category was in spring break. What musician in 2013 Academy of Country Music Entertainer of the Year released the following 4 EPs? Spring Break, Spring Break 2, The Hangover Edition, Spring Break 3, It's a Sure Thing, and Spring Break 4, Suntan City. Pub trivia experience, what did you say?
So we know it had to be kind of a beachy vibe. My first thought was a Jimmy Buffett kind of realm, but I didn't know if Jimmy Buffett, though he is an amazing entertainer, would win the Country Music Entertainer of the Year. But he has collaborated several times with an artist by the name of Kenny Chesney. And he is a little more of a what we would call beachy country, as opposed to the Nashville country or the Texas country.
All right. Make some noise if you said Kenny Chesney. Now you know who's wrong in the audience.
Oh, man.
The son of a peanut farmer from Georgia. Your correct answer is Mr. Luke Bryan. One team got it right.
Congratulations.
Nicely done.
Everybody else said Kenny Chesney.
Who got that right? I drink to you all. That's a good one.
Guys, that was impressive. Nicely done. All right. Round 4, question number 3. Your category is in St. Patrick's Day. Oh, man. There's a lot of arguing out here. Category is St. Patrick's Day. Here is your question. A coddle is not just how my wife treats me when I'm sick.
Hey.
It is a traditional Irish dish and comfort food made from salty bacon, pork sausage, and potatoes combined into a stew-like substance. It is most often associated with what Irish city? Do you need the question again? Oh, calm down. A coddle is not just how my wife treats me when I'm sick. Leah, do you ever treat me like that? Do you coddle me at all?
No.
No. No. Okay. A coddle is a mixture of salty bacon, pork sausage, and potatoes combined into a stew-like substance. It is most often associated with what Irish city? Good luck.
Let's name some Irish cities.
Yeah, about that. So,
Dublin.
There is.
Belfast.
Yep.
That's all I got. Those are the only ones I can think of. Belfast is kind of like breakfast. So.
Right. Bacon, sausage. I'm liking that. Where's Dover? That's in England.
I don't know.
So I'm trying to think if there's something on the top of, because there's two Irelands, right? There's Northern Ireland and then there's Ireland.
Ireland, yeah. And I do not know anything about Northern Ireland except that I think it's a separate.
So I know Dublin's the capital of that. Where is you two from? This is my
definitely from
limited
Ireland.
logic.
They're from Ireland. I just don't know what city.
So, by process of elimination, as like the only city that we know, Dublin.
Right. Dublin and Belfast. Those are the only ones I can think of. So what do you think? Should we go Dublin or should we go Belfast?
Dublin seems solid to me, but it's almost too obvious.
That's what I'm wondering. If that's the most common city, would they make that an answer? Unless they were making that as an answer because some of the other questions are so hard, they want people to...
You think you do that in round 4?
Oh, I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah, based off the other one. You know what? Let's go Belfast.
Okay.
All right. A coddle is not just something my wife does for me when I'm sick. It is a traditional Irish comfort food that is a combination of salted bacon, pork sausage, and potatoes combined into a stew-like fashion. In what Irish city is it most closely aligned, or is it most closely associated? Thank you. I'm here for you, man. Oh, man. It's the beer. Pub Trivia Experience team, what did you say?
First off, we tried to order a coddle because that sounds delicious. But in the failed attempt at that, honestly, we could only think of 2 Irish cities, and this is pitiful on our part. I'm blaming the beer as well. And that is Dublin and Belfast. And we thought Dublin was a little too obvious, given that this is round 4, and you might be trying to go for some harder ones. So we chose Belfast. Did we screw it up? Is the
we did.
question.
So we're going to count the Pub Trivia Experience team out on this question.
All right.
Because literally everybody else got it right. The correct answer is Dublin.
I'll raise a glass to that, but I will not
That is
drink.
a social. Raise a glass and take a drink.
I feel like I shouldn't drink.
Yeah, that was my fault.
I'm not allowed to.
And with that being said, we have our first bonus points of the evening. Team Spicy got 2 bonus points for getting beer number 8. Nicely done. Round 4. Question number 4. Your category is in alcohol. What is the name of the alcoholic beverage company that's headquartered in London that owns all of the following brands? They own Guinness, Johnny Walker, Bullet Bourbon, Lagavulin, Captain Morgan, Bailey's, Smirnoff, Ciroc, Kettle One, along with over 100 other brands. What's the name of the company that owns all of them? You got 3 minutes. Good luck.
This is like one of those things when you find out that like Kraft owns 3/4 of the grocery store that you purchase. I mean, it's like they own that many different ones. So, given that those are all the brands, I don't know if we would even know the name of the parent company.
So the only thing I know that comes from London, I'm pretty sure it's not a company. I thought it was a specific beer, but it's Boddington's. And the only reason I know that is because on the Friends episode, when they go to London, when Ross is married Emily, they come back and Joey is like, Boddington's! I really miss Boddington's! But I think that that's like a beer. It's not like a company. Because he was like, I would walk back to London for a picture of that, whatever. But I think it's an actual beer, not a company.
Okay.
I can't imagine it owning all those other famous companies. So, but that's the only thing I know that's affiliated with London.
I can't think of like a parent company name
Right, yeah.
outside of there. I wish I had like a bottle of Guinness I could read or something real quick.
That was a lot of different famous...
Guinness, Johnny Walker, Bailey's. I got Ciroc, which
Never heard
is
of
Ciroc is P Diddy's company. Puff Daddy, P Diddy, whatever is that, that's his brand
Okay.
that he does. So they do a lot of licensing like that. But look at the gamut of types of liquor as well.
Right.
I mean,
It's
they're
not just
doing
beer.
no, it's
Johnny Walker,
beer,
what is that,
it's whiskey, it's Bailey's is a liqueur.
Yeah.
Ciroc is vodka.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's something that we would have never even heard of, so it doesn't really matter what we guess, because it's not something we would actually get. I feel like we're letting down our listeners with our lack of knowledge on these topics.
I'll tell you, this would be a good podcast because the listeners are screaming
Yep.
at the headphones right now, or the car, or wherever they're listening to,
we're
going,
making
"You idiots!"
Everyone feels so smart because they're like, I know this. I could come on the podcast, which you guys can.
Yep.
Just reach out to us. Send us an email, pubtriviaexperience@gmail.com.
We'll Skype you in. We'll do whatever we have to get you in here.
All right. This is round 4, question number 4. Your category was in alcohol. What is the name of the alcoholic beverage company that's headquartered in London that owns all of the following brands? That would include Guinness, Johnny Walker, Bullet Bourbon, Lagavulin, Captain Morgan, Bailey's, Smirnoff, Ciroc, Kettle One, and many, many others. Pub Trivia Experience team, what did you say?
This was a piece of cake for us. You see, there's really only one place that you can get beer, that you can get whiskey, that you can get liqueurs, that you can get vodka and all these things in, and that's my favorite store, ABC Liquor. We went with ABC Liquor Company.
All right, so ABC Liquor is not correct. Neither is Total Wine.
Aw.
Now, here's the deal. This was the toughest question of the evening, bar none. But it was not an antisocial. We had one team that got it right.
What?
Make some noise if you said the company name is Diageo.
What the? Cheers to the alcoholics in the back corner. Woo!
Nicely done. So here's how your final round is going to go. Your final round, I am going to read you your scores. It would make sense for you to pay attention to what your score is and what the scores around you are. In your final round, I am going to give you 3 categories. Each category has 1 question with it. You can wager up to 10 points on each question. So there is a potential for a 60-point swing. Nobody is eliminated yet. Your scores as of right now, the Scouts had to peace out early, but they finished with 28 points. With 62 points and within striking distance of first place, we've got Dink. With 76 points, give it up for the Pub Trivia Experience. 91 points, we've got GNC. With 96 points, El Frenchies. And we have got a close race for first place. In third place right now with 104 points, give it up for Jack Fire. In second place by literally 2 points, and that is just for buying the beer, with 106 points, it is Spicy. Your leaders right now going into your final question with 112 points. We've got the Rivercrest Crew. All right. I will tell you this. I may play games with you guys throughout the night, but I am not playing games here. I'm going to tell you exactly what your final 3 question categories are. And I'm not being subtle. I'm going to tell you exactly what they are. So, question number 1, your category is Friday the 13th, but I will give you a little bit more information. It is unexplained phenomenons. Dun, 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 dun. Question number 2, your category is a spring break soundtrack. Question number 3 is in St. Patrick's Day food. Here's what I need from you. On one of your pieces of paper, I want you to write down the numbers 1, 2, and 3 that represent question 1, question 2, question 3, and write down your wagers. You got about a minute to get that information into me. 10 points per question is your max wager. Here we go. You got about a minute. Get those wagers in, and we'll get started. Good luck. All right. Your wagers are locked in. Here's how this is going to work. I'm going to read your first question. I will give you about a minute to discuss. I'll read your second question, about a minute to discuss. I'll read your third question, and I'll give you about 3 minutes to turn in all 3 answers. Here is your first question. The category is unexplained phenomenons. Phenomena. It's killing Joel that his mic is not on right now. All right. Question number 1. The town of Taos, or Taos, Taos, is known because a small percentage of people can hear a persistent, low-frequency buzzing or rumbling when they're in the town. This phenomenon is unexplained and referred to as the Taos hum. In what desert state is this city?
Desert state.
Yeah, well, those would be the desert states I would think of as New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, Utah. I feel like Utah is more mountainous desert.
We're going to move on to question number 2 in your wager round.
Hit me, Big Daddy.
Question number 2, your category was in the spring break soundtrack. Listen carefully. Here's your question. What is the name of the comedic band that released the song Spring Break Anthem in 2013 and includes a Golden Globe award-winning actor and SNL alum?
Oh.
If you want to know what part of the song is, the song contained the following lyrics: Cancun party down, Lauderdale another round, Havasu crack a brew, marry a man. Do you need the question again? What is the name of the comedic band that released the song Spring Break Anthem in 2013 and includes a Golden Globe award-winning actor and SNL alum as part of the trio? Sorry. The song contained the following lyrics: Cancun party down, Lauderdale another round, Havasu crack a brew, marry a man.
SNL alum. Gotta think their first breakout hit was The Chronicles of Narnia. I'm on a Boat with T-Pain. This would be Andy Samberg's trio, The Lonely Island.
Here's question number 3. After I read this, you got about 3 minutes to get your answers in. Question number 3, your category is in St. Patrick's Day food. After being introduced in 1970, the Shamrock Shake at McDonald's became so popular, they released another Shamrock dessert in 1980. What was the name of this dessert that lasted around a year before being shelved?
Okay. 1980. 1980 is a long time ago. I know for a fact they have a Shamrock McFlurry now. No, they didn't have McFlurries back then. All they had was the ice cream machine and pies. They always had apple pies. It sounds disgusting to do a version of the pie on that, but that's the only other thing I could think of.
Your final round, question number 1, your category was an unexplained phenomenon. The town of Taos, or Taos, is known because a small percentage of people can hear a persistent low-frequency buzzing or rumbling when they're in the town. This is referred to as the Taos hum. In what mostly desert state is the city? Joel, what did the pub trivia experience say?
So as soon as you said Taos, I'm thinking this has got to be China or something like that. And then
State.
You said state. So I said, oh, crap. What state has a lot of freaky phenomenon, like scary crap going on? And the only thing we could think is Roswell and New Mexico. So we went New Mexico.
They locked in New Mexico. This particular town has actually become pretty famous with Hollywood. A lot of celebrities have properties here because it's a very artistic town in the state of New Mexico.
All right.
Woo! Question number 2, your category is Spring Break soundtrack. What is the name of the comedic band that released the song Spring Break Anthem in 2013? The band includes a Golden Globe award-winning actor and SNL alum as part of the trio. The song contained the following lyrics: Cancun party down, Lauderdale another round, Havasu crack a brew, marry a man. Pub trivia experience. Go ahead.
That song was made by the amazing trio that also came out with hits such as Chronicles of Narnia and On a Boat. We went
and
Lonely. What? I don't. Can I say that? Are there any kids around it?
Oh, believe me, he's heard worse.
Dick in a Box. Anybody? Andy Samberg. Lonely Island.
It is the Lonely Island with Andy Samberg. Nicely done.
Woohoo!
Question number 3. After being introduced in 1970, the Shamrock Shake at McDonald's became so popular, they introduced another Shamrock dessert in 1980. It was not as popular and lasted less than a year. What is the name of this dessert? What did you say?
So, as an expert of desserts,
we can't tell.
Oh yeah.
I can't tell. I'm sorry. Hold on.
I'm a little further along than him.
We're both experts.
All right. So, this only lasted a year, so this had to have been like a flop, like they didn't bother bringing it back. They didn't have all the machinery that they had now, and we're thinking about the cost of bringing this out. So instantly I thought, what would have been disgusting and not came back? A shamrock pie. But then your wife brought up the idea of a shamrock sundae because they would use the green syrup that they would blend with the soft serve to make the milkshake and just kind of put it in a sundae container. So we went shamrock sundae.
So, first off, if you have not seen their commercials from like 1980 when they introduced this particular item, it's disgusting.
Oh, God.
Because the Shamrock shake allowed you to kind of lose the green ooze that they put on top of the Shamrock Sundae. The Shamrock Sundae looks nasty, but it is the Shamrock Sundae.
Shamrock
Nicely done.
Sundae. Good job, Leah. Woo! See? We started off rocky, but we came out in the end.
All right. Before we get into the answers in the top three teams, including, by the way, crowning a new winner, because if you can't tell, our three-time champions Phoenix Squadron is not here. Before we get into the final, guys and girls and women and men, can we give it up for your wait staff who've been busting their butts for you tonight? Woo! They appreciate your applause, but it's been a rough week for everyone. Everyone knows that. Let's take care of them at the end of the night as well. Without further ado, let's get into your top three scoring teams. In third place, by a grand total of 2 points. First off, Dink. Hold on. No. You came in fourth, but you came all the way back. You were 2 points down. You had a heck of a showing. But in third place,
honorable mention for Dink.
Your third place team is Jack Fire.
Woo!
In second place, you know him, you love him. It is Team Spicy.
Woo!
And in first place, with a heck of a turnout, your winners tonight are the Rivercrest Crew. Woo! A real quick shout out here, not to toot our own horn, but Team Pub Trivia Experience, if they were allowed to place, would have come in second after an epic comeback, sweeping the final round.
Right.
Nicely done, everybody. We will be back every second and fourth Friday of the month. We are here live at Anclote Brew. Follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter to find out when our shows will be. We'll see you next time. Have a great week.
We just went to a party there, and we
did.
liked it. It was wonderful.
Yeah. How many times did you see Dave Matthews while you were there?
He did 3 nights of a concert. So, yeah, 3 nights, 74 songs. Didn't repeat one song between all 3 nights.
So he must have like hundreds of songs in his
Yeah, huge catalog.
database.
Yep. And a lot of, like, you know, if you're not a fan, they're ones that you haven't heard on the radio, that kind of
Right,
you know.
I was going to say, I could probably name like 5 songs.
Yeah. But it was a great place. It was at an all-inclusive resort. And it was neat because it was on the beach. So we're in the sand watching the concert.
So even if you didn't care about the music, you could still just enjoy it.
Right. And they're walking around with trays of margaritas and pina coladas and just bringing them to you at the concert. You know,
It's crazy.
it was a great
It's like
experience.
when you go to Vegas and you're sitting at the slot machines and they're just like, would you like
They
a
just
beverage?
bring you drinks.
And you're like, yes, I would. Thank you very
I like
much.
that.
Okay, are you okay with being
Yep.
locked in with ours?
We are good.
Oh, I forgot about this one.
Uh-oh.
I don't think it's right, though.
Oh, yeah.